the world record for a man is 9 minutes faster than the world record for a woman. You're telling me that in 55 years of women running a marathon, we've caught up within 9 minutes of a man?
People just really say fucking anything on podcasts these days. You realize 9 minutes is like 2 fucking miles? She says 9 minutes like the guy's fucking 50 yards ahead of her. Anyone who's ever run a day in their life knows shaving 30 seconds off of your time is fucking impossible. Regulate podcast equipment 2026. I'm gonna run on it.
Receive $10 million or your nigga receive 100 million.
Receive 10 million. My man received 100 million because he gonna give me some. What you mean?
That's that nigga like that. What you think?
Give me my 10. That's that. Yeah. How much for the nigga? 100, but okay. He probably lied, tell you he got 2, if even a million. Right? Yeah, give me my money.
Y'all gonna learn. Women keep other women single. One girl, she say she want her man to get the big bag, and then she trusts him to divvy it up, right? Other girl, she talking about, nah, I'll take a little bit just so he don't get nothing. Then this girl over here let this girl over there convince her to take a little bit because she don't trust the type of man that she selected. Make it make sense, bro. Avoid women like that at all costs.
If you're in your 20s, go hook up with that person you shouldn't be hooking up with. Dating in your 20s is messy. Now is the time to give into the urges and desires so that later on you're not resenting yourself or somebody else for it. Am I being an enabler? Sure, but your 20s is about learning crisis management and your 30s is for crisis prevention. I don't know what pheromones have kicked up in the air, but everyone I know is hooking up with someone they shouldn't, and we need to stop feeling bad for it. Who cares? We're all gonna laugh about it. We're all gonna die one day. That's just my hot take.
Just imagine encouraging young girls to do dumb decisions by knowing the fact that it have a negative impact on in life. You know, they know like what's gonna happen, but they still wanna do it. Just because, you know, they're beautiful, they're at their peak, men are coming like crazy, so they wanna enjoy and have that experience, you know. But you have to understand, like, there's no two ways. If you go in that direction, and there's no turning back, because at that point, men will never see you as the woman, they will see you as the living sex toy. That's it. Women with kids, they are not happy the fact that their kids, they are listening to a lot of podcasts, and most likely the man space, you know. So they are saying these podcasts, they are making their kids hate single moms, and most important thing, they are defending their fathers. And guess what? These women, they are not happy about that. I don't want to take too much of a time. Let me take you through the video. But before that, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's engage in the comments and like the video. We want to reach 7,000 subscribers at the end of this month. Now let's continue.
I think it's very commendable to date a single mother. If she's in the child's life, obviously, she's a responsible woman. She didn't choose this, obviously, because I don't think any woman wants to be a single mother. It shows that you raised a great son to be able to accept a woman for her struggles and what she's going through. I don't know.
I would not say it's commendable for a man to be with a single mom. I think if your son is choosing a single mom, his value's fairly low in the sexual marketplace, and he probably doesn't have better options. But to be clear, I think in this scenario, right, you got a single mom who, by dating her, by default, you're going to take on excess responsibility without the corresponding authority, meaning you can't discipline the kid in certain ways. It's not your kid, and you have to then listen to her, and she takes lead on the parenting aspect, which removes your authority as a man, so that's very difficult for him to play that role. He still has to usually take on the financial responsibilities of caring for that child because he's caring for the mom. He also has to help out with the kid, take soccer practice, whatever. So it's usually an L all the way around. A lot more take on their side, give on his side with very little in return.
He was on point, and that's what most men, they don't want, you know, taking advantage of. Like, just imagine, bro, like, you taking care of something and you understand like there's nothing can get there, like nothing at all, you know. So you're just wasting your time, you know. So no one want to be like that. And again, that study shows even single moms, they don't want their sons to date women with kids. They don't want that. So they understand it's never been a good idea to engage with a woman with kids.
That lady whose son went viral in the grocery store for saying, "Why is my daddy on child support when you can pay for all the bills?" She is going to regret every single thing she is saying to people right now. Oh, how dare you guys say that my baby daddy's a bum? With questions like that, he is. Oh, stop saying my son's gonna grow up and hate women. Y'all are just projecting your childhood traumas. He is. I see my brothers go through it. I've seen cousins go through it. Every time somebody talks about Nick Cannon, people are in the comments talking about, "I only saw my dad twice a year and he was the best dad in the world." No, baby, you're a victim. These men will quite literally blame their dad abandoning them on their mother. They would never admit that they have a bad dad. You going back and forth, people, my son would never be a podcast bro. Y'all saying my son gonna grow up and be a podcast bro? Ma'am, he's already acting like one. Go check his search history. Go check his watch history. A bunch of women in the comments are like, listen, a lot of these boy moms, they never learn. They never learn. And I wouldn't be so mad if it wasn't going to affect other women in the future. I've seen this story before. You have men on this app today on live every single day talking about how much they hate single moms when they grew up with a single mom. The cycle, I fear, will continue.
She's saying these men are hating single moms and they've been raised by single mothers. Bro, is it good to be a single mom, actually? Let's be honest. Is it a good thing to be a single mom? I believe it's not. And I don't advise any woman to go that stage. And they are not hating single moms. They are not hating women with kids. They are hating the system, the structure of which those kids have been raised.
Here's why I will never again go on another coffee date. Someone recently asked me out on a coffee date, and I thought about it, and my immediate response that popped into my head was no. And here's why. As a girl, to get ready, it's very, very expensive to actually get ready and look presentable for a date. If you take into consideration the hair products, the makeup products, the skincare products, the outfit, if you're Ubering, if you're driving, the gas to get there. So you're spending all this money on yourself to walk out the door to show up to a date that's literally worth at maximum $15 to $20. My full face of makeup, because I go to Sephora, quite literally costs more than it is for this person, whoever it would be, to take me on a date. And also what that says to me is that this person does not want to put actual effort into taking me out on a real date. And I'm not saying that this needs to be an extravagant dinner or an extravagant date. I'm not saying it has to be super expensive. But what I do expect is effort and a plan in place. And if I don't even have that, then I'm not going. And if I really want Starbucks, I'll just Uber Eats it to my house.
You ready for the epic scumbag dating story? Okay, I meet a guy and he starts to message me. Meet me here, we're going to be there later, do you want to come over? None of this happened. Days later, I happen to be going someplace that he says he's going, and he comes there, and I see him for a couple of hours, and he's very nice, and the next day he's messaging me, hi beautiful, and I can't wait to see you again, and we looked good together, and just like flirty, nice, cute stuff. And I intend to see him again. After that group of messages, I start to see that some of them have been deleted. There's a picture of himself, there's a video of himself, and one out of the two is deleted. A couple of messages, it seemed arbitrary because I couldn't remember exactly which ones he deleted, but I know one was a video. So I was wondering why he chose to keep some and delete some. I thought, oh, is he married? Is he trying to make someone jealous? Is someone looking at his phone? I didn't think that. The people doing my hair, and I did a video with you guys, and you're like, who's behind you? Those people said that. And so, whatever, noted, didn't let him know that I knew that. At one point in the texting on another platform said, hey, is everything okay? Because you deleted some. No, everything's great, with real drippy language. No problem. So now, it's a couple of weeks gone by, and I'm supposed to see him again, and he's messaging, and he's voice noting, and heart emojiing, and just all these.
I'm gonna talk a bit about that makeup girl, the first lady. Bro, I've been seeing a lot of videos, women, they're saying the same thing. Like, hey, I'm putting on my expensive makeup just come and see you, and you're taking me on a cheap restaurant. Hey, I don't want that. You are so cheap. You're not my type. Bro, are you hungry? Why don't you cook at home? And like, are you going there to meet someone, or you going there just to eat? You have to be specific, at least maybe to save his time, because like that's on the meeting point. Somewhere you can just sit and having that chat, just know each other like that, and see if you can take on the next step. But these women, bro, it seems they're like they're hungry, but they're starving. They just focusing on the food. By the way, if you see she putting on a lot of makeups, that's a big red flag. Do not take care, bro. Like, avoiding her at all costs, because she's deceiving you. That's not who she is. When she just going on that shower, bro, and came out, you may run, because you'll be surprised, like, who is this? So if she's taking a lot of makeups, she's insecure. She knows exactly she's not beautiful. She wanna deceive you. That's it.